Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Oh, let me turn that off. Y'all let me know if you can hear me. Kelly says she has no sound. Okay, good. Thank you, Renee. All right. So, have y'all heard anything that I said? Or y'all just watching me talk? Can y'all read lips? Thanks, King Bear's Crafts. So, I don't know if you heard me, but we're doing the Purse Pal. It is a wallet designed by Linds, handmade, and it's pretty popular. It's a cute little purse. It's a quick sew. It gets you can actually cut it out pretty quick and put it together. You need a little bit, things a little bit different than what your, I guess, your purse would call for. Uh, you need glue for this. You need a snap. You need a hole punch to punch your holes for your snaps, depending on what kind of snaps you use. You can use magnetic snaps, which I'm thinking about doing today, but I have them both out just in case. Um, you're going to need some vinyl, or whichever. You can actually make this out of quilt cotton, but you'll have to do some interfacing on it. You'll have to add some, cause to give it some structure and stability, so your wallet, just doesn't flop. It's sturdy enough to hold a snap and change and things like that. You're gonna need to cut out your pattern a rotary cutter or scissors if you choose. You can do it either way. And double-sided tape and a some material for your card slots. I use landscape fabric, just plain old landscape fabric. I cut it about 2 3/4 inches wide, and I'm not sure how long this is. I didn't measure it, but I guess I could real quick. Let's see how long this one is. Okay. 6, 47 inches long and 2 3/4 wide. Hi, Bedazzling. Thank you for watching. You working and watching. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I just checked, I'm actually at 97 subscribers. Hopefully by the end of the weekend, I can reach 100. That would be awesome. I mean, I didn't expect that this quickly, and I really appreciate everybody just tuning in and watching. Um, so, landscape fabric. I bought this at Walmart. I bought a whole roll, a really big roll, for a few bucks. So it'll last me a very long time. Like I said, this is good because it doesn't tear. It's good for your card slots. It's lightweight, and it won't put any bulk, very much bulk in your wallet. So, okay, so let's put that aside, and I'll just show you while we wait for people to come on in. I'll show y'all a few of the things I have been working on. I'm working on right now. This is called, get the name of it for you, the Nightingale zipper case. This was actually in the choices uh, of the poll that I put last week to see what y'all wanted me to make. We had put the Purse Pal, the Nightingale zipper case, and there was one more thing, and I can't remember what it was. But anyway, the Purse Pal won. 41% of you voted for the Purse Pal, and the Nightingale zipper case was second, I believe. So this is the Nightingale zipper case. I'm not done with it quite yet. I have to do the binding on the very outside. That's the last thing I have to do on it. But this was pretty fun to put together because it had a little bit of everything. We have um, we have vinyl, the clear vinyl right here. I quilted my fabric, so you had your main fabric, and then you had a contrast fabric. I chose pink. Um, and then purple was my backing right here. And then we had 5 zippers on this one. So there was one for here. This is a vertical pocket. And then this is a horizontal pocket for right here. And then we have I guess a pencil holder. You can put your pencils in there and materials. That has a zipper as well. Pink inside. Now, that's also quilted. All my material I quilted. And I just did lines, uh, vert, diagonal lines, and I did crisscrosses. And then we have 2 more zippers with 2 smaller pockets here. So you can put just some small things in here. And then, so sorry, right now, and then this is the little pouch, which you could, and I thought about it, really thought about it hard, putting Velcro in here to where you can take this out if you need to. I think the second one, I might do that. Once before I bind it, I'm going to make a final decision because I can always rip this out, put Velcro here. And, but I thought it was cute. And you got, I put webbing on the back with a handle and a little buckle here just to dress it up. And you basically, you take it and you fold it up like this. And you strap it in. And that's how you close it. And then you can carry it around just like this. But I thought it was adorable. And I have a bunch of this fabric, which it's my mother. This is for my mother for Mother's Day. She's been asking me to put something to put her colors in. She goes to this daycare for the elderly twice a week, and she brings her colors. And the case that she has, she said it was too heavy. It was a box. It was too kind of, it was awkward to carry. So this, she can put stuff in and it'll smush down a little bit for her. But I made this for her for Mother's Day, so I'm going to bind it this evening and I'll be done with that. But I thought it was cute, and I think I'm going to make some more. This would be cute for traveling. If you have little kids, you can they can take it to travel. Take it in the car with them and then carry it like a little purse. You can even, I guess you could use it as a purse if you wanted to. But I just love all the pockets in it. I love it. So, and then this is, you have a slip pocket, I forgot to make 2 slip pockets as well. So you can put like maybe some paper in there, little tablet pieces of paper that, I think it'd be a good travel pouch. So that's what I've been working on this week. I was a little under the weather yesterday, so I didn't work on anything at all. So I came home and I went straight to bed and didn't get up until this morning for work. So, but I'm going to finish this tonight. So that's one thing I was working on. And then we're going to, the purse, the one that I'm matching this wallet to is the Lisa. I did that, I believe, last week. And I just thought it was cute. This one has feet on it. So when you set it down, the bottom won't touch the table. But this is just a shoulder bag. I guess you could use it depending on how long you need the strap. You could move the strap down and do it as a crossbody. Probably, yeah. But I would use it as a shoulder bag. So I made the strap out of the same material. I cut my strap out. And then it has 2 zippers on the top. And the fabric that I'm using, that I used for the lining, I bought a while back. And it's actually fabric from Italy. And I just thought it's adorable. So that's the fabric. It's got a slip pocket in here, and that's it. And it's really big and open. So the wallet we're doing today is going to match this. It's going to, I'm going to sell it as a set. So that is this called the Lisa, and it has a strap on here for hanging and a strap on here for hanging. And except we're going to do our wallet today to match it. So this is the material for the wallet. This will be the inside pocket, and this will be the outside of our wallet. So back up. Okay. And I don't know if you watched the last live. This is what we did on my last live last week. This is little purses. Little girl purses with interchangeable bows. It's called the Bowlicious. And I thought it was really cute. Made out of denim. This is out of my husband. He was getting rid of some jeans. I cut up one of his pants leg and used that for the purse and the straps. And I also did a second one out of the same pair of jeans. So I got two purses, and they're interchangeable bows. So I thought it was cute. It'd be cute for a little girl. And I was wanting to find a similar pattern to do for maybe like a mommy and me, where you can have the mom's purse and the little girl's purse. I don't have a little girl, so I gravitate towards that because I have two boys. And they're boys. So I do have two goddaughters, thankfully. So, okay, with all that said, I'm going to switch my camera to my table, and we'll get started. After I'm going to tell a few more people hello. Thank you for all coming in. Okay, let's see. Hey, Stacy. Happy late anniversary. I'm sorry, I was sick. I didn't get to tell you that. But, hi, Jennifer Ritchie. Hi, Marlise. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if y'all haven't. I'm at 97. Hopefully I can get to 100 by the end of the weekend. Let's see. Hi, Rachel. Pattern. It's the Purse Pal. The one we're making today. I have it linked. It's by Linds Handmade, and it should be linked in the link should be in the description. Hi, Precious Pieces. Thanks for coming and watching. Hi, everybody. Okay. Did you get, Gail, did you get the fusible one? You gotta make sure you put in it's the shiny side that goes down when you press that. You gotta make sure the shiny side is down. Now there's some that you buy. Unfortunately, I have had some in the past where it didn't stick very well. So, but what you have to do is just set your iron down. You're not ironing it, you're pressing it down until it sticks. Hey, Shamika. Hi, Rosalind. Okay, so I'm going to switch my camera down to my sewing table, and we'll get started. It shouldn't be that long, really. So let's switch out. Okay. Make some space here. So what I have here, okay, you use a zipper. I have my tag that I'm gonna insert in there. This is my interior. This is it'll fold up like this, and it'll be the interior of the pocket. When you unzip it, this is what you'll see. This is my landscape fabric. This is my cord slots. This is probably going to take the longest. Yeah, Gail, it has to be hot. No, Rachel, I didn't list the pattern for the Nightingale bag. It's by Center Street Quilts. I'll have to get that and I'll put it in the description for you. But it's Center Street Quilts by Christina Brinkeroff. Uh, it's quilted. It's called Quilted Supply Case Pattern. Let's see if I can show y'all. If it'll zoom in. Okay, let's go this way. By Center Street Quilts. But this is the what the pattern looks like. But it's called the Nightingale Zipper Case. Now it did take some time because you have a lot of pieces that you have to cut out. You have some clear vinyl. You go strapping. I think the longest part actually was the quilting because all the pieces are quilted. Now it's up to you whether you want to quilt it or not, but I think it makes it look really good, the quilting. So, but maybe on another live, I'm gonna try another one because that was my first one. So as we all know, when you do something the first time, it does take a while. So it took me a while, a couple of days. I started on Monday, and I'm still not finished with it. But I didn't sew for 2 nights, so I would say it took me about 3 nights coming home from work, and sewing every night. But like I said, life happens in between, so it was a start and stop. It was not continuous sew. So, uh, hi Beverly. Thank you all for coming in and watching. I really, really appreciate it. I don't know if you all see the question I posted in the chat. What style purse or bag do you like and why? And just the reason I'm asking is give me some ideas of what people like, what's trending, what's not trending. I know, like I said, people like a lot of people like the crossbodies, but there's so many different styles of crossbodies. So, okay, so let's get started. Move some of this out the way. Like I said, we'll need a snap closure, some type of snap closure. I have both of mine out. I have both the magnetic one, which I'm thinking I'm going to try today, and then I also have the snap, which I also get. But I think the magnetic one might work better with this style purse. It'll look better. So we're going to put that aside for now. I have an empty Walmart gift card, and that's just to make sure my slots are sized right, that they're deep enough. So I'm going to put that aside. Our zipper, I have my rulers here. I went ahead and cut all my card slots. So basically what you would do here is, this is my hole punch. And it has, of course, the different size holes that you can do. And for this right here, I used the smallest one, which is 5/64 inch. So you're just going to take it, and on the pattern, you get the pattern piece. So on your pattern, you have, there we go. So on the pattern, they give you some dots, and then you have your card slot lines. So you're going to punch holes. And this is just for, I guess, aesthetics. It looks better than having just a straight line. And then on the bottom here is your snap closure, which I haven't punched yet and I haven't marked on the back. I drew on the back of my material, my vinyl. So, but that's basically what we're doing with it. So, and then we're going to eventually, we're going to glue this together and we're going to fold it. Thank you, Rosalind. Yeah, it looks like a lot of people are carrying just something big enough to carry their, I do too. I tried to carry one of the purses I made, and I've been carrying it for a couple of weeks. And then, but I also have a laptop for work. I have to bring to work back and forth. And I'd rather just I have a small, it's a Pocket Pal. It's the same, similar version to this. It's just basically it's half the size that I carry. And it has, what I need. It has my change, my cash, my credit cards, all that stuff, and I can slip it into my pocket if I need be, and it slips fine into my backpack. So this week I've been just carrying the backpack because it's just a lot to carry when you're getting out in the morning. So, okay, so the glue that I'm using, Shamika, this is the one I use. I use Fabric Fix. It's the same as made by Beacon. It's the same one as the Fabric Tack. But this one, it's a permanent fabric adhesive. And so it's basically it dries fast, and that's why I like it. It has a quick grab. So once you put it on there and you seal your stuff, then it dries really fast. It quick dry, and it's also washable and acid free. So you can use it on fabric, lace, leather, trims, and then it says more. So you can even use it on lace. It dries clear, but that's and I'll have to put the link in the description for you guys. A lot of the stuff I've bought. It's been a while I've had it, so that's why I don't buy it. I have everything I need, so I'm not buying regularly. I buy in bulk for most of my stuff, like my hardware and all that. So, but I'll find the link. I got it on Amazon, so it's going to be on Amazon. So, okay. But the Fabra tack will also work because I've used that before. This one I like it because I think it dries faster than the Fabra tack. So after you cut out your card slot sheet, then you're gonna go in and on the holes that we marked, you can just go in and punch your holes. Punch them all, and then of course you'll have to punch this, and I always punch my holes before I do my slits, that way I know where to start and stop. So, and then I cut those with a rotary cutter and a ruler. So that's my slits and my cardstock. So, and then also on your inner fabric, this is for your zipper. You're gonna cut the line, and you're gonna make your little like when you do zippers, you're going to make a little triangle here to where you can tuck that in when you put your zipper in. And then this is where we're going to glue our zipper to, or we're going to tack our zipper to with our double-sided tape. Thank you, Rosalind. So, and then we did the same thing. I cut it out with a rotary blade. Like I said, we're going to center our zipper behind here. We're going to double side it, and then we're going to sew that down. And here I have, this is for our snap closure. You cut it out bigger because what we're going to do is I glued two together because this will have our snap. So when you open it and close it, it'll have the same style. The same style on both sides. So I glued that before I came on, so I wanted to make sure it, and this is what, look, this is not coming apart. I mean, you pull hard enough, yeah, but I mean, who's going to pull that hard? But anyway, I used that glue to put this on here. So it works very well. Okay, so this, like I said, you do a bigger pattern, bigger than your pattern, because what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to sew, and it's easier to sew. And when you cut it out, they'll be the same size. Because if you try and cut out two of them separately, it's going to be really, really hard to match it. So uh, cut two bigger pieces out, glue them together, and then we're going to go in, we're going to sew uh, a scant, like very close to the edge, not even an eighth of an inch, around the hole, and then we're going to cut it out. It just makes it so much easier. And I drew on it with, but it has my erasable pen, so I'm going to have to draw on it again, the pattern. We're going to draw on it again so I can go in and sew right inside the line. Okay, so that's what we have prepped. I said, and this is our landscape fabric. This is going to go inside our card slots. We're basically going to just do a fan fold for our card slots. And then as I do, when we're going to do our fan fold, I'm going to slip this in there just to make sure it sticks out. And it doesn't go down too far. That way it's easy to grab. So that's all our pieces. Like I said, there's not a lot of pieces at all. So first thing, to get it out the way, I want to do our card slots. And for that, I'm using 1/8 inch double-sided tape. Now, I buy my double-sided tape at Michael's, because Michael's has the 1/4 inch, it has the 1/8 inch, and they have the big rolls in the 1/4 inch, I believe. But they're not that bad on price. But I do get mine at Michael's. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go, this is going to be the top of our wallet. So we're going to go underneath each line, and that's where we're going to put our double-sided tape. We're going to put one at the bottom, and then we're going to put one at the top. And right now we're just adding our double-sided tape to this, and then we're going to go back, and as we need to, we're going to peel back. Peel them back, and then stick our landscape fabric to it. So like I said, we're going to go right underneath each card slot. I had put out a short video a while back, and this is actually what I was doing. Some people asked me, well, what were you doing? This is exactly what I was doing. I was putting my double-sided tape on and then adding my landscape fabric. Okay. Down there. I'm going to add one to the top. You want to put it probably 1/4 of an inch from the top edge, because eventually we'll be sewing right there about 1/8 of an inch on this. Shay, how many one-on-one lessons do you need? You need a one-on-one lesson for the last one. We're just going to have to do a retreat. Okay, so there you have it. So we're going to put, now what we're going to come back and do is we're going to come back and put our landscape fabric on it. We're going to actually start on this bottom row. we're gonna go up, and we're gonna sew it down, and then we're gonna come back down again and attach it to this. So we'll start here. And again, my landscape fabric, I cut 2 3/4 wide. You need a lot. Shay Shay spoil rotten. Well, maybe we could do a trade for something. Let me see what she could teach me. I'm just evening this out. There we go. Sometimes the worst part is actually just peeling up the double-sided tape. Especially when you don't have a thumbnail. Messed up my nail. So I'm having to give it a rest. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. So, all right, so we're going to put our first right down here. I want to get it straight, that way all the rest of it will be straight. Make sure that's down, and then that's sewn. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew right underneath this card slot, because once we do that, then we're going to flip it back, and then we're going to come back up and do the same thing to the second one, and that'll give us our opening right there. So, and today, because I'm using double-sided tape, my machine does not like it. I'm using my anti-glue needle. It's a 9014. It's, let me see if I can find the brand name for you guys. This is a glass. I guess this is what it's called. Anti-glue machine needles, 9014. So this I bought at a local quilt shop we have here. It's called A&A Sewing Center. So we're going to sew from the front, so you can make sure your material is straight, and we're going to go right underneath. We're going to start at the little hole that we made, and we're not going to back stitch. You can if you want, if you're really good at back stitching, but all of these we're going to sew without back stitching, and then we're going to pull our threads through. Okay, and we can just go straight across, and we're going to stop at the hole, and we're just going to pull enough of the thread to where you can pull it through. So this is what I did. I sewed right here. So now I'm going to go, and I'm going to pull this through. Here, what's good to use is a seam ripper. So you can pull your threads through to the back, and then what we're going to do is we're going to just tie a knot. through like that. That way it's not on the front. And we're going to do the same thing with the other side. It gives it a cleaner finish. And you don't see the back stitching. Okay, so now we're going to just take our threads and we're going to tie a knot. If you can get the threads apart. Okay. This. And the same thing here. I always do two knots. And we're just going to cut that off, and we're going to continue that same process all the way to the top. So that side. Now this is where we're going to come down to, we're going to take this off right here. And we're going to peel or stick our tape off. We're going to fold it down, and that'll anchor it in place. And now we're forming our pocket. So this is where I'm going to grab my card. Right here. I'm going to grab my gift card and I'm going to set it in there. Turn it up. And make sure that it's sticking out. That way it's easy to grab. So that'll be good. Okay. So now we're going to just do our next one. Rachel, I saw what you said, but I don't have my weeding tool in front of me. So I'll just use my seam ripper. Typically, like I said, I don't have any thumbnails right now. I had to take the nails off. Okay. And it doesn't help when you're blind. Might help if I put the glasses on. So we'll do that. Okay, there we go. So we're going to come back this way. Line that up. And we're going to put that down. And before we flip it back down, we're going to come and we're going to sew another line. And we're going to just continue on. Make sure you pull enough thread out to where you can tie your knot. And when you do the same thing, we're going to sew starting at the little hole that we made, and like not even 1/8 of an inch, just right below that line. So you just kind of, what I do is I'll line up that line along the inside of my presser foot. Where it splits in the middle. So we're going to flip this around again and do the same thing. I've watched several bag sewers and designers do this both ways. Some prefer to do the back stitch, some prefer to pull it through. I just like the look of it when you pull it through. There's no back stitching that shows on the front. Okay, and then we're gonna just cut our thread. Okay. And then we're gonna fold down. And now we're not gonna glue this one down, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my part again so I can measure and see how far down I want to go. There we go. I'm gonna slide that a bit further, like that. I'm gonna flip it over. That's where we'll put it. And I'm gonna undo the tape. Hold that card in place there. And fold that straight up. We're gonna go just like so. Go ahead and take this card out, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave it straight up. And then we're gonna sew right below this third line. Okay. Again, here we go. Right at the circle, work our way down the line. So anybody, yeah, I know it's Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there and the godmothers and the grandmothers. Are y'all doing anything special? We're tomorrow, my oldest goddaughter is, well, tonight she's graduating. And then tomorrow is her graduation party. But nowadays, not everybody can go to graduation. They give out tickets. So they're not even sure. She actually she was homeschooled, but she went to a facility where they had retired teachers, and that's where she went. She's actually so proud of her. She's a salutatorian of her class. So excited for her. Okay, go. And tomorrow, and I found out that the main meal tomorrow is crawfish. I hadn't been to Boyle all year. We've gotten some at the restaurants and stuff like that, but not, we haven't. So when I do this, I'm just measuring the width I have here and going with the same thing. I mean, you can put your card in here every time, but it just goes faster. So I'm not even sure what we're doing for Mother's Day. I have no idea. I'm thinking that go to church with my mom and then take her. Maybe do a breakfast. Oh, make sure you're sewing the right direction. I almost did a movie there. Anyway, tie these off. And we just keep on going. I'm just hoping the weather holds out for the crawfish ball tomorrow. It's really nasty today. Hopefully it passes through real quick. But I noticed it did get cooler. I went to Sam's before I got home and bought a bunch of things that I needed, and I got caught in the rain. I kind of shopped around for as long as I could, and I got tired. So it's like I said, time to go home. Waited for the rain to slack up a little bit. It did, and then by the time I got to the car, it got worse. All my stuff got wet, and then I got wet. I had to go blow dry my hair, and then but as soon as I got back in the car from loading, of course it slacked off. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. Measuring this. I'm just kind of eyeballing. So I've seen a lot of crafters now trying to doing like bags and stuff. Uh, it's a little bit different than the quilting world, because you just quilting, you have your material, your thread, your sewing machine, and that's pretty much it. For bags, you have all these pieces that you need to have, all your hardware, your things like that. But I think I love doing it. I'm hoping everybody that's getting into it loves it too. Okay. Oh, I'm too far over. There we go. It goes faster as you go. Shamika, I think you said, or somebody said they liked the flower. This is the Grow with Grace. I think it's Marilyn's design. Correct me, somebody, if I'm wrong. Um, but uh, courtesy of my sister-in-law, Lady Blue Blair Designs. When my son was staying with her for work, he brought that home for me for my Mother's Day gift last year. So, and it's all my favorite colors, of course. Purple. Okay. But, you know, Sunday, let's say I need to do something for my mother, but I don't want to cook. So I really think we're going to do breakfast. She always loved either Cracker Barrel or IHOP breakfast. But we shall see. Again, almost done. Oh, also, really proud of my great nephew. His high school baseball team is going to state playoffs. I'm sure you've seen the shirts that Lady Blue Bear is making on her feed. It's the Welsh Greyhounds. So I'm really proud of him. That's exciting for them. We watched his game that they played on. If they streamed it, it was streamed on Facebook. So we watched that yesterday. Okay. This through. And what I'm doing when I'm pulling it through, I'm pulling the back thread until you see the loop. I don't know if y'all can see this, but the loop that comes out here. And then I'm just taking my seam ripper and pulling that loop up. And that pulls your front thread through. And then you just tie a couple knots in it to secure it. Normally I would burn my thread with a lighter, but this landscape fabric is very flammable, so I wouldn't advise that. And they're not going to show. All this thread is not going to show. So next, now what we're going to do is we have this sewn. This is the last one we're going to sew. We're going to take our fabric and we're going to go ahead and put it on that sticky tape, and then we're going to cut it. So everybody, Rosalind, Walk by Faith Designs, is in here. She's one of my moderators. Thank you, Rosalind. Doing a fabulous job. Anyway, she is doing her first solo live tomorrow. So if you haven't subscribed to her channel, please go and do that. Rosalind, put your channel in the chat for them. What's pink? Shay Shay, this is not pink. All right, so we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna just go ahead and cut it right at the edge. So there we go. So now we have our card slots, and that's what the back looks like. You just fan fold it, and like I said, you sew right underneath to secure your pockets. So, or did I do that wrong? Did I really? No. No, I did that right. I didn't make my last pocket, y'all. So look, we're going to have to go back and make a pocket. This would have made my pocket. So I'm going to peel this off. I cut it too soon. This double-sided tape works really, really well. Okay, let's try this again. Try to preserve that. So what I'm going to do is, to make me a pocket, I'm just going to go to my sewing machine and sew this together. Like so. Because nobody's going to see it. Now I will backstitch here. No. Oof. Let's try this again. I was looking at the chat, paying attention. All right, so we're going to, one more time, we're going to fold it. Fold it back like this. Then we're going to attach it to our tape. Now, there we go. So basically you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 folds. You should have 6 folds when you're done. And we're going to, now we're going to cut it off. I thought I had too much left over. Got a little bit more of that. There's our slots. So before we move on to our next thing, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and, that's another thing I didn't do right. Put my snap in. So I'm going to go ahead and just do my magnetic snap. That way I don't have to punch holes. So this is my magnetic snap. It has 2 pieces. It's not like your other snaps. It just has these 2 pieces to it. And these 2 pieces. These are your little washers. So I'm going to find, what I'm going to do is take my pattern. And I'm going to just line it up so I can make my mark. Just make my mark right here. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is, since this has prongs on it and it's not a hole, I'm going to kind of indent it center it here and put an indent so I can put my snap on. Rosalind put her Walk by Faith Designs YouTube channel in there. Please go like and subscribe to her channel. She's going to be doing, I think, a little bit of everything. No, Rachel, what's your question? So now I'm going to take my seam ripper, and on those indents, I'm just going to make two small, don't have to be big, because you don't want it splitting. Two small indents here, and slip your go. Magnetic snap here, and on the back we're going to put our washer. And fold it out. Just do this before you put your little folds on here next time. Alright, so there's our snap. That goes on there. So now what we can do is we can glue this piece together and let it dry while we assemble our zipper. I'm trying to get my glue to come down. It's time to order a new one. And to do this, all we're going to do is we're going to put glue all the way around the edges. So that's all I'm going to do. Is I'm just going to go all the way around the edges. Now, one thing you can do here, and it's up to you, which I'll probably do it later, is edge paint. When you're doing like faux leather or leather, and you don't want the raw edges to show, then you can edge paint it. But you have to let that dry. That has to dry for a while. So I'll probably just do it on the outsides and later, depending on how it looks. So we're just going to do the edges, and now I'm going to fold this over. So you need to kind of work quickly with this glue. Line up your corners. And then you're going to fold. Just like that. And that forms one part of your wallet. Now to hold it, take your clips and clip around so glue can dry. I don't know if you also, when I'm putting my clips, there's a flat part of your clip and a round part. I always put the flat part on the part that's going to be seen, which is the outside, because that way it won't put a big of a dent. It'll be flatter, to be honest. It's your choice. Sewer's preference. A bag making class kit. Several bag makers they're starting to put some kits out to make a bag where they supply you everything you need to do that. And some, I've noticed there's a few of them that have classes now that you can, or you can watch, you can get their kit. They, a couple of them have a monthly kit. I want to say Linds Handmade has a monthly box you can get. She has, and she has a kit, and it has all the instructions in it. Either that, or they supply a link to a YouTube channel that you can watch. I've just started watching a lot of the bag makers that design their patterns, and I've been watching them do so. So we're going to let this dry. So we're going to put that aside. Next, what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and trace on my, yeah, trace my bag, my purse by my snap closure to this. And then I'm going to sew around it. And that way it'll make it much easier to cut out, because it'll be the same size. Okay. So, not the best tracing job, but it'll do. But yeah, some of the bag makers, they have kits. I've never bought a kit. Okay. Let's see. So I'm going to sew right inside my line here. So, and what I did is I put the same thread in my bobbin as I have at the top. That way, because on this strap, it's going to, when you flip it over, it's going to show. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And the same here, you can back stitch or pull your threads through. I'm just going to go ahead and back stitch a couple of stitches. Okay. And then you go like that. And I'm basically doing the same thing I did for my card slots. I'm lining up the edge, the line I drew, with the inside opening of my presser foot. Now, when you go around corners, the best thing you can do is hand crank. If you want to, and don't turn it until you have your needle down. Make sure your needle is down. That way you can just pivot. And you want to really, you don't want to, when you're pivoting or turning a corner, make sure before you turn it, your needle is coming back up so it finishes the stitch. Because if you do it and your needle's the needle is still going down, it's not going to finish that stitch and you're going to have a skip stitch. So I'm going to pivot here. Like I said, I'll wait till my needle comes back up. Not out. Leave it in your fabric. Just make sure it's coming up as far as the turn goes. So you just keep going around until you've made that corner. Okay, now we're back on the straight part. I'm coming to that corner. Make sure my needle's coming up. And there you go. And meet where you started. I'm going to go ahead and back stitch a couple. And then we're done with that. Now here I will use my lighter to burn my threads. And I also have on my sewing machine, I have my, I don't know if y'all can see it or not. I have my silicone foot so it doesn't stick to my vinyl. So this is what I've done. I've sewn it on the inside edge. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, not my threads, I'm going to just make sure I cut around where I sewed. And then as far as my magnetic closure goes, so this is going to go, and see I did another boo-boo. I'm going to have to pull this apart. And see, this is how hard it is to pull. I usually use a snap so I can do this way, but since I'm using the magnetic, I'm going to pull this apart. Yep. And we're going to center this. What I'm going to do is, I have some charms to cover this up. I'm going to add a charm on it. That's what I'll do. But I'm going to put my washer on here at the edge. I'm going to make my lines so I can cut my slits. Make just like we did with the other one. Seam ripper, and then just cut a little slit in there. Okay, there we go. And we're going to put this on this side. Like I said, I'm going to find me a charm, because this is the part that's going to be on the outside that you see. So I'm going to find a charm to put on it. And I'll just glue that in place. And since we're going to be cutting, we're going to fold that in. Okay. There we go. Make sure that come over. And so when we close our, it's gonna go like this. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and cut. These are scissors that are made to cut leather, and I use it for my vinyl. You can use a rotor cutter if you like. Okay, clean that up in a minute. Because remember, I'm going to probably edge paint this later, so it'll clean it up. Okay. And then we'll cut this. Oops, there we go. All right. Clean this up. And then there we have it. And this is why I say use edge paint, because I will have to do some edge painting around here. I mean, you can leave that look if you'd like, but okay, there we go. So now then we get ready to attach. It'll go like this, and we're gonna feed this through the other side, like this. So there's our closure. I'm sorry, I did it upside down. There's our closure to keep your credit cards in. So, all right, so we'll put that aside. Clean up the mess here so we can move on to our zipper. Okay. All right, so our zipper, we're gonna put some double-sided tape, and we're gonna put it on underneath here, and we're gonna do that, and that's all we have to do to add our zipper, and then we're gonna cut it to size. But first, you got to remember to put your zipper pull on. And so I'm going to see which way my card slots are going to go, because I want my zipper pull goes from left to right. Hi, Dreams Style Unlimited. Patricia, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Please, if you haven't liked or subscribed, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Okay, so if I'm looking at it, this is the way this is going to fold. You're going to fold it this way, and then we're going to put our other piece, it's going to go like this. So I want, if I'm looking at like this, where my snap is, which I'm going to call the front, I want my zipper to go left to right. So I'm going to put my zipper on the right side. That way when it opens left to right. So you always want to check and see, because you don't want to put it and then have your zipper opening the wrong way. Now, if you're left-handed, that's different. So to do that, I'm going to take my zipper, grab my lighter, and I'm going to burn my ends. It's just easier when you're putting your zipper on if you don't have any frayed edges. And also, here's a tip too. If you see how one side's a little bit longer than the other side, that sometimes makes it easier to put your zippers on, because you're going to slide it on the longer side. You're going to pinch it, and you're going to slide your other part in, and you're just going to push it down. And see, the top edges are even now, and we're going to pull it down. like that. Now, if it's not even, let's say you have a hump here, you're going to have to pull it out and zip it again. But this is good, so when I put it in my, see how it opens left, so I'm going to make sure I put my zipper in this way, where it closes when I go left. That way when I go right, it'll open up. So now we're going to put some double-sided tape on this, where I did with it. You could also glue it in place if you'd like. Let me put the cover on this before I mark something up. Well, there it is. Okay. All right. So let's put. I'm gonna put this on here, and I'm putting it as close to the edge as I can because I try to avoid sewing on the double-sided tape. Even though I have that anti-glue needle, I still don't want it to gum up anything in the machine. And one thing I did learn, that glue that I use, once it's dried, it does not affect my machine. I can sew with the regular needles and it will not gum it up. Like I said, but every machine is different. So just because it doesn't do that to mine doesn't mean it won't do it to yours. That's one thing in sewing. Every machine is different. Everything sews different. Okay. And I think machines, when they get used to one thread, that's what it likes. Because I've tried switching my thread because my machines do not like heavy cotton thread. They like the polyester better. So very rarely do I use the heavy cotton thread in it. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and fill up our tape again. My favorite part. Okay. And I'll do one at a time. Okay, my zipper's closing that way. So now what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to center it as best I can. You're going to make sure your zipper's in the center. Oh, okay. Okay. Just like that. And I'm using a number 5 zipper tape. On that bag I showed, the Nightingale supply bag I showed you, I used the number 3s. I have a bunch of number 3s I had ordered a long time ago, and so I've decided that would be the perfect thing to use it on. I can use up all my zippers on that one. If I do another one, I'm gonna try to figure out a quicker way to put it together. Maybe I could do it on a live, but I think it would take too long. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. Make sure we have that centered. Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sew around my zipper. My silicone foot off, and I'm gonna put my zipper foot on. And we're going to just go about 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to pull my threads through on this too, because you'll see it. Make sure your needle's down before you move your zipper. That way your zipper won't get caught. Needle down, it's coming back up. And this is a nylon zipper, so you can sew right over. Back down the other side. And just a little tip, when you're sewing, you should not be looking at your needle. You should be looking at where you're going, the edge of your presser foot. It's just like when you're driving. You don't look at your steering wheel while you're driving. You look at where you're going. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but that's the way I think of it. I'm going to go back around the corner. Remember, I'm pulling my threads through, so I'm going to leave enough to where I can tie off. I'm going to turn this around and do the same thing I did with my cardstock slots. So, that one through. And we're going to pull this one through. Make sure, yep. Oh no, I grabbed the wrong one. And just be careful when you're pulling them through, because if you pull the wrong one, you'll miss a stitch. So, pull this up again. Well, yeah. There we go. Now we got the right one. Now we're going to go ahead and pull tire threads out. Now, take your lighter. Edges. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut my scissors. my scissors, I'm sorry, my zipper tape. So I'm going to cut it as much out of the seam. I don't want to catch that in my seam. So we're going to be sewing around the edge of this. Tape off. This tape off. Okay. And there we have our zipper. Make sure it zips and unzips. There's our zipper. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our liner right here. After we do this, first we got to do this. Take your liner and you give it a fold to the edge, because we have little triangle slits here. You're just going to fold it down all along. Finger press it first. Fold this down. Just give it a finger press, and then we're going to do the other side, and I'm going to come back with my iron. Do the other side here. Finger press. Do the triangles on the edges. Now you can use double-sided tape with this if you want. First, I'm going to iron it down. This out first. That way it doesn't have any wrinkles. Okay. So like I said, I'm going to fold this down. Alright. Do the triangle part here. Bet y'all thought we wouldn't have to iron for this project. Alright. That down. Now we're going to take it and we're going to place it over our zipper so we see the opening. And we want to, it's not going to go all the way to the edge. That way you don't see the material when we fold it. But so you want to kind of center it to where it's not overlapping the edge. If you have to, you can trim it. But I just barely have it overlapping the edge. I'm going to cut this one a little bit. Now here's where the glue comes in. Okay. So once I have it where I want it, then I'm going to fold this fabric back a little bit at a time. And we're going to glue it down. And I'm just going to make sure you get your edges, because we're going to be folding this like we did the other one. And I just put a little bit to, catch the center. Down. There we go. And this up. I'll put some along the zipper here. Okay. Now back over. Try zipper area first. Here. And just flatten it down. Over a little bit. There we go. So that is going to be the inside of your so we can fold it like this, so when you open it up, that's what you see. So now what I'm going to do, remember we already sewed one line here. We're going to go back around and we're going to sew it again, because what we want to do is we'll sew this down, because you don't want this getting caught in your zipper. See, like opening up like this. We're going to so now we're going to go ahead and go back in, and we're going to make another line alongside the one we did. So you'll have two, it's pretty much like a decorative. I'm going to back stitch on this again. Just watch where you're going. Line up your line along with your presser foot, or your, you can see your machine. If you have a tape to measure on your machine, then go along there. But you have to help it over that zipper, so okay. We're gonna go back on the other side. My stitch length is, I'm at a 3. If anybody is wondering, move your zipper out the way. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and put that on. I'm going to cinch it with our lighter. Okay. Same here. Now whenever we're zipping it, it's not going to get caught. So there's our second piece. Now we get to pretty much assemble it. So I'm going to take my clips off. And what we're going to first do, we're going to sew around our cardstock, our cardstock, I'm sorry, our card wallet, credit card. We're going to sew down the edge. And that way, because this is going to actually be part of our your slip pocket. So we want to sew this down to give it a clean finish. Change your presser foot out. Let me put my silicone foot back on. And I usually I very rarely change my silicone foot out. We're going to go probably about an eighth from the edge here. Let me change my needle position. Try that again. My needle position was still for my zipper foot, so that again. So it was sewing too far over. And back stitch. Here. Just remember, when you're sewing vinyl, it can be very unforgiving. Cotton is very forgiving. Vinyl, not so much. Okay. So we have this edge sewn. So it gives us a nice little finish. Cut our burn our thread. So now we get to do the same thing we did with the other one. We're going to do with this one. We're going to fold it, and we're going to put some glue along the edges. Now, I'm normally I would let this dry, but it does dry pretty fast. But for video's sake, we're gonna go with. That's why I have my anti-glue needle on. But typically I would try and let it dry. Okay. So you match up your corners just like you did your other one. Match your corners first, your edge, and then this edge. And then we're gonna there we go. So once you have that together, you're going to sew it and you'll have your pocket. So you could theoretically make this by itself. If you want to make like a coin purse that just carries your coins, you can do that. But what we're going to do now is we're going to line up. You're going to line up your corners here. So we're going to line up our corners, and we're going to clip around to keep it together. And if it's not even, don't worry, we'll trim in a minute. But you want to try to get as straight as possible, because that'll be less trimming that you have to do. Yes. Now, the credit card slot wallet will be shorter than your zipper pocket, because that allows you to have that slip pocket right here. So now, before you got to find a position for this, for your snap closer, because it's got to go somewhere. So we're going to put it inside, in between our layers here. So you just open up your layers and you slip that inside. Make sure you're lined up and it's not too loose or too tight. And once you have your position and you're satisfied with it, then hold the tab in place, unsnap it, and then you're going to put a clip or two to hold. that in place. Oh, I broke a clip. Now is where it gets thick. So we're gonna sew all the way around to fasten it, to put our wallets together. And that way we can sew right over this, and then once we're done with that, we'll be able to snap it in place. So that's the next thing we're gonna do. So we have to leave it open to be able to do that. So I'm gonna start on this side, and I'm gonna work my way around. Now for this, I am gonna lengthen my stitch length to 3.5. I'm a back stitch. And you're gonna go probably like a scant, what they call scant 1/4. I line my edge up with the inside of my presser foot. Let me get another presser foot to show you. So no, that's not a good one to show you. So you know how your presser foot has these this opening in the middle? I use one of the lines to line up like the at the top, like the edge where this opening is. I'll use the edge of this opening where your needle goes through to line up to give me 1/4, scant 1/4. And just make sure when you go get to your corners, make sure when you pivoting, your needle's coming back up. And you just keep going around your wallet. What's going on? Make sure you're getting caught on something. Oh, am I not? Sorry, catching. My thread broke. It's sewing really good. And all of a sudden it decided it didn't want to sew. And it's probably because I didn't let my glue dry. It doesn't like wet glue. So just cut this. I'm going to take my lighter and cinch that so it doesn't undo. Try that again. I'm going to pick up where we left off, which was right at the corner. I got it lined up. I'm going to just start basically one stitch back and go over that last stitch it in. That way I'm locking it in. And I'm still not catching. Alright, it came unthreaded. See? The fun things of sewing. When we get to the end, and what you can do too is if you have alcohol wipes, if you don't have that anti glue needle, you can use alcohol wipes to wipe your needle down. We're getting there, y'all. Thank you again for everybody jumping in. Give me my. I told you, yeah, I just had my eyes checked and it changed, and so I've changed prescriptions. So I'm still kind of getting used to the prescription. He actually lowered it, said my eyes got better, but I don't know about that. All right, let's try this. Get lined up again. There we go. All the way around. You see, it's to watch what you're when you're sewing, because what it's doing, it's actually pushing my wallet, so I'm gonna have to trim it. So I'm trying to make sure I sew where I need to sew, that I'm not sewing off the pattern. Make sure my needle comes up. Back on this side. Okay, and then we're going over that now I like to back stitch when I go on and off of it, that because this is where your stress point is going to be. Remember to back stitch get to the end. And y'all, we are done. I'm gonna burn my threads. Okay, put this off. See, there was not a lot of sewing on this project. There's a lot of gluing and little just in between parts, tedious parts. Okay, and so our snap closure. So you see where I'm gonna have to trim it up here. So I'm just gonna go back now and I'm gonna make sure I get it trimmed. Y'all, these scissors, I got them at not Joe, oh my gosh, got them at Hobby Lobby, and I love them. They're very sharp. So like I said, I'm just going around making and trimming and just making sure my edges are straight. And make sure you look at both sides, not just one side. And like I said, I'm going to come back and I'm going to edge paint it. So that way, and I'm probably going to go like, try to find a color similar to the wallet. So there we have it. We have finished purse pal. I'm going to add a charm here, but open it up. You have your credit card pockets. You have a slip pocket. And you have your zipper pocket. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging in there with me. So what do y'all think? I like it, but yes, it's going to go with okay, here we go. It's going to go with this little beauty right here. Made it to match. So it'll go on the inside. It fits perfectly in here. But there we go. Hey, Miss Joy, you catching me at the tail end. Thank y'all so much for watching. Look, 2 hours. Working on shortening it. Hi, Miss Linda. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, I did that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Miss Joy. I made it. I made the wallet today. This is a purse pal by Linds Handmade. It has a zipper pocket. It has a slip pocket and some credit card slots with a magnetic snap closure. I think I'm going to start doing the magnetic snap instead of the snap. It's just so much nicer. And I'm gonna add a charm to go on top of this. I'm gonna glue one down. But yes, that's it. I made the purse last week, so it's made the material on the inside of both the wallet and the purse is sorry, it's from Italy. I'm looking for the paper that explains the name of the fabric. I can't remember. I'm bad at that. Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna have to really start writing more things down. But I thought it was pretty and it went perfect with this, and I think it turned it up a notch. I want to try to do some different colors. I want to actually do some that are like a little bit sturdier. So I'm thinking of putting this. I used SF101 interfacing in it. I used I didn't use foam in this one, but I want the next one. I want to use foam. I think it'll give it a stiffer. Now that it stands up, no problem, but it's soft. But it's called the Lisa. Um, I think I linked it underneath my picture when I posted it. But thank you, Rosalind, for posting it. It has feet on the bottom. I put some purse feet. So there you have it. We have matching purse pal going with a wallet. So thanks to y'all for watching. Y'all remember Rosalind is going live for the first time tomorrow. Rosalind, what time? I think you put, wasn't it 2 Eastern? So that would make it, what time Central? So y'all go and check Rosalind out tomorrow. She's going live. Not sure what she's going to make for us tomorrow, but I'm excited to see her come live because she does really well with her crafts. And she's also designed a couple of things. Maybe she'll design something. So Rosalind, put your channel back in the chat for everybody to see. Hi, Crafting Cousins. Yeah, Linda, it would be good in a backpack purse. But see, it's also, you can fit it in your pocket, your back pocket if you really wanted to. And they have a pocket pal, which is pretty much half the size. It looks just like this. I have a pattern I need to make from that. But anyway, so yeah, the pocket pal I carry with my backpack all the time, and I love it. So, but hopefully, I'm not sure what we're going to make next week. I thought about doing that Nightingale supply bag. So 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Okay. Y'all saw Rosalind's going live, 9 Mountain Time, 10 a.m. Central Standard, 11 a.m. Eastern, and 8 a.m. Pacific. So, there we go. So, anyway, y'all, put that back on there. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Thank you for all the nice comments. I really appreciate it. I love doing the bag making. I'm hoping my business will take off. And yes, Rosalind's Walk by Faith Designs. Y'all go like her channel, subscribe. Like and subscribe to mine if y'all haven't yet. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions about anything I make, just please, feel free to message me. Um, I'm going to be working on a website to put all my bags on soon. Hopefully, I'll get one of my boys to help me with that. The oldest one helped me with going live and everything, so the other one's probably going to be he's good at software, hardware, everything. So he's going to help me do that. I'm hoping, Linda. I'm hoping it'll take off. I really, really do. I'm considering getting another piece of equipment, but we'll have to wait and see to help make it take off. I do have one on order, but as soon as I get it, I'll reveal it to everybody. But I'm excited to get it. So, all right, y'all. Well, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, I'll come up with something to make. Maybe we'll do another crossbody, a different style, maybe. I know I did the other crossbody from Butter Bags, I believe. The Alyssa. Yes, I'm sorry. The Alyssa, we did the Alyssa, and that was from, I did them all mixed up. But no, I know what we'll do next week. We're going to do something different. But this is the Purse Pal, Linds Handmade. So y'all go and you can purchase a pattern. Her patterns are not expensive, and she has really, really good instructions. They're really nice. Again, I was working on. I'm going to finish this tonight. This is the Nightingale zipper case. Machine out. This is a Nightingale zipper case that I was working on. All I have left to do is the binding all the way around. But this is, it's really cute. It has a little pouch on the inside. Everything's quilted. It has a lot of binding on it. It's like every piece has binding, pretty much. All the zippers has binding on it. There's 5 zippers, so there's 5 pockets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there's also 2 slip pockets here as well. But like I said, everything is quilted. The outside, I have webbing on the outside as well, and to close it. So you basically you just fold it up. It folds up pretty much into a triangle, and you close it up like this. It actually called for you to put the webbing inside cotton, but I liked it better like this. It just folds up like this, so where you can still see the sides. Once I have it bound, it'll look nicer, but it folds up like this, and you carry it. Like it looks like a little purse. But I thought that was cute. So, but it is time consuming because there's a lot of cuts. You got to cut vinyl. You have to cut all your pieces out. You have to quilt all your pieces. So I'm not sure. This might be one day, maybe, a fun Zoom to do or something like that, like in a series. If I do it, it'll have to probably be a series if I go live with it. So, which pattern you purchased, Kelly? The one I just made, the Purse Pal? Yeah, Linda, I love this. This is so cute. I made it for my mom. She asked me for something to put all her colors in. She goes in the elderly daycare twice a week, and she said she didn't like carrying the box that she had, so she wanted a pouch. So I figured this would be good. She can put her pencil sharpeners in a place. She can put her pencils, maybe in one, and her colors in this. I don't know what else she carries, but I figured that she would like this. She's been asking me for a while now. So when I saw this, it's like that would be perfect. This is the pattern right here. Nightingale zipper case. This is by Center Street Quilts, Christina Binkerhoff. It's called a quilted supply case pattern. So you can use it for many things. But anyway, so that's all I have for tonight, y'all. We'll do something fun and different next week. I'll have it posted by the end of the weekend, and any supplies you might need, if and the pattern, where I got the pattern and all that. Again, if you have any questions about what we made tonight, just feel free to give me send me a message. Uh, and happy Mother's Day to everyone. I hope everyone has a very blessed day, Sunday, and you get pampered and treated well. I'm hoping that for me. That will be a relaxed day for me. I said, I think I'll take my mother out to breakfast, and then we'll come home and just chill. That's all I want. So, again, happy Mother's Day to everybody. We'll see you next week, 4:30 Central, Friday. And remember to go watch Rosalind tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. I had to think what it was. Rosalind tomorrow, and then Stacy and Jess come on Sunday morning. I don't know if they're still coming on because it's Mother's Day. And also Shay comes on Sunday morning as well. So go check their channels out. And remember to go sign up, subscribe to Rosalind's channel. Let's show us some support for her first live tomorrow. See y'all all there. Bye.